Hello. Today is Sunday, July 19th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to the Associated Press, President Donald Trump's primetime address has reignited debates over U.S. election integrity, referencing debunked theories from the 2020 presidential election and advocating for stricter voting laws. Political discourse has intensified since the last presidential cycle, with major legislative changes in several states aiming to either tighten or relax election laws, a trend especially pronounced in discussions about mail-in voting, voter identification requirements, and the role of digital misinformation. Key actors shaping the landscape include the U.S. Congress, state legislatures, and advocacy groups such as the Brennan Center for Justice. Prominent figures like President Joe Biden, former President Trump, and Senator Amy Klobuchar, as well as tech platforms like Facebook and Twitter, continue to play crucial roles. Among the latest developments, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has signed a bill increasing penalties for interfering with poll workers. The U.S. House Committee on Administration has released a bipartisan election security reform report, and a federal court in Texas has ruled parts of the new voter ID law violate the Voting Rights Act. Consequences are unfolding rapidly. Stricter laws may reduce turnout among marginalized communities and provoke escalating legal challenges, especially as we near the 2026 midterms, while the heightened political climate contributes to polarization and skepticism about electoral outcomes. In the medium term, reforms could restore public confidence but risk disenfranchising some voters amid ongoing legal and societal turmoil. Bloomberg reports that Asian airlines are seeing a windfall as booming AI server demand fills cargo bays with semiconductors, helping offset rising jet fuel costs. Demand for AI servers has driven substantial shifts in global supply chain logistics since early 2024, with Asian carriers like Cathay Pacific, Korean Air, and Singapore Airlines pivotal in transporting semiconductors and components from manufacturing hubs like Taiwan and South Korea to global markets. Companies such as TSMC and Samsung Electronics are ramping up efforts, supported by global logistics giants like DHL and UPS, while governments in Taiwan and South Korea closely monitor the tech industry's economic impact. Cathay Pacific noted a 15% monthly increase in semiconductor cargo volumes this July, and TSMC logistics team confirmed accelerated cargo booking rates to South Korea and Japan tied to expanding AI server partnerships. The shift means airlines may allocate more space to semiconductor shipments, potentially limiting consumer goods capacity, while higher freight rates could impact manufacturers' cost structures and global supply chain expenses. In response to rising logistical complexity, Asian carriers are expected to invest in advanced cargo tracking. Meanwhile, intensified shipments could boost growth in regional tech-dependent economies. TechCrunch highlights that Applied Computing has raised $20 million to build a foundation AI model for oil, gas, and petrochemical operations, reflecting a broader industry push to harness advanced AI systems. Foundation models like GPT-4 and LLMs are increasingly used for seismic data interpretation, predictive maintenance, and exploration accuracy, notably through collaborations with major oil producers and technology firms. Since 2024, companies such as Shell, ExxonMobil, BP, and Saudi Aramco have invested over $2 billion in AI technology, with Shell announcing a partnership with Microsoft to expand foundation model capabilities in deepwater exploration, BP revealing AI-driven drilling optimizations cutting analysis time by 40%, and Saudi Aramco piloting LLMs for real-time refinery monitoring. Regulatory agencies, including the Department of Energy and the EU Oil and Gas Task Force, have stepped up scrutiny as foundation model decisions touch on safety and environmental considerations. Near-term benefits include potential operational cost reductions by up to 30% for large operators and lower accident rates from enhanced predictive maintenance. However, these advances are expected to displace traditional geoscientists and system operators, and medium-term regulatory oversight may intensify as AI's influence spreads in risk management and compliance. Now, onto the markets. European markets saw minor losses today, with Germany's EWG closing down 0.2% and Belgium also slightly lower, while Spain's EWP moved up 0.5% as the strongest among major continental indices. The United Kingdom managed a modest monthly increase, with EWU up by 2.2%, but Netherlands and Australia lagged, with EWN down nearly 1.3% on the day and EWO dropping almost 1%. In Asia, India's INDA advanced 0.45%, while Taiwan's EWT slid 2.8%, marking it as a notable underperformer, and Japan's EWJ fell by 1.5%. In commodities, U.S. oil, represented by USO, surged 3.9%, with agriculture DBA and wheat also posting gains of nearly 0.9 and 1.3%, respectively. Gold, GLD, and silver SLV both rose on the day, but platinum PPLT and lithium LIT declined sharply, losing over 1.2% and 0.7% respectively. On the tech front, Adobe IBA picked up 0.8%, while Microsoft MSFT dropped 1.8%. Nvidia and VDA fell 2.2% and AMD slipped just over 1%, while Oracle outperformed with a gain of 1.77%. The S&P 500 ended lower by nearly 1%, with semiconductors stocks dropping about 1.6% and healthcare Roman 45 also declining. Agriculture stocks MOO bucked the trend, rising almost 0.5%. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.